Welcome to the Note to Self podcast. I'm your host, Zoe. I'm a certified professional life coach, serial entrepreneur, verified YouTuber, and published author. On this podcast, you can expect actionable tips, reflections, and inspiration to live your best, most fulfilling life. So, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. Today, on the topic of manifesting, because it is no other season than quantum season. So that means that the Quantum Creators course is now open for enrollment. So that will be linked down below. If you aren't yet a QC Squared alumni, I highly recommend it because this course is the one that changes lives. There's life before QC Squared and life after, and you'll never look back. It's so much fun. And we've got such a beautiful community in there. And each time that Lo and I launch the course, which is every 6 months, so twice a year, everyone gets the opportunity to run through it again and just get even more potent and powerful with those quantum leaps. So I highly recommend it. It's linked down below. There's also the Formula Masterclass, which is the latest bonus addition to the course that you can check out. So today we're getting into how I trained myself to let go of the how. So this is such a common question in the manifestation journey of like, how do I drop the how? How do I let go? And the wonderful thing about quantum leaping is that you don't have to let go. You can think about your desires that you're creating in the quantum field all the time, which that's one thing that Lo and I talk a lot about on the Lo and Zoe show is that a lot of the messaging that has been out there in the world in regards to manifestation tries to deter you from thinking about the thing that you want, when in fact quantum physics shows us that you are allowed to think about it as much as you want, and in fact it works in your favor. So there's a completely different foundation to the way that you see reality once you understand the quantum side of things and how that relates to you as a powerful being on this planet, as a conscious creator on this planet. So of course, in understanding how reality works at a subatomic level, it's much easier to get out of the how. But for me personally, the biggest shift I made was just looking back, and this is something you can do right now. So, looking back on things that you've manifested in the past. So, think about something that was super synchronous. Maybe it was a simple thing, because sometimes the simplest things are actually some of the most inspiring. Like, let's say that you desired this specific flower and someone gave that to you, or you desired this specific sofa and you ended up finding it on Facebook Marketplace or somewhere else. And it's just, you can't make this shit up, basically, that vibe. So think about some of those things that have happened to you in that regard. And then think about the series of events that would have had to happen for you to receive your manifestation. So oftentimes it's just absolutely mind boggling, right? It's just this huge universal journey that our desires go on to be manifested in our reality in the most ease. And the more and more that I was reflecting on previous things that I've manifested that were definitely out of this world and were definitely incredibly synchronous and magical, every time that I tried to map out how this thing made its way into my life or how this scenario just seemed to happen the exact way that I visualized it, I was like, my goodness, that's absolutely exhausting. And there's only so much that the human brain can comprehend. And this is way out of our comprehension level as human beings. I mean, I know that we're incredibly powerful, but we only have access to so much of our brains, right? So thinking about that, I'm like, wow, it's actually exhausting to think about the how. So creating that reframe on things of, wow, it's exhausting. It's very tiring for me to spend my time trying to figure out the how, whether it's like journaling out how I want it to happen, doing this. The universe always knows what's best for us. The universe always knows the path of least resistance. And the only thing in the way of us manifesting at the snap of our fingers is literally all the resistance that we have to believing that it's possible. So that's always the work too. There's infinite possibilities available to us in this moment. And we're on this journey of training our brains to work more in our favor than to allow our power to be released or leaked from us. So again, the how, it's a very exhausting thing to try to figure out. It's actually not our job to figure out. It's actually the way in which this world goes round, and the universe shows us that we're supported and that we are loved and that we are communicating with this beautiful, universal, loving source, right? If everything was so predictable, it wouldn't be fun. If everything was so predictable, it wouldn't be as magical when you receive your results. So the next time that you find your ego getting all hopped up on trying to figure out the how, remind the ego, no, we're actually open to magic. No, it's actually exhausting. It's actually wasting a lot of our energy to try to think about the how. And I'm open. You can even just say this, I'm open to the universe surprising me. May the path of least resistance be made clear and be made manifested effortlessly and easily for me and my desires. So I hope this episode helped you guys. I'm sending you so much love. And like I said, it's quantum season. If you're not a QC Squared alumni, this is the time to get in because it just keeps getting bigger and better. And each time that the course gets launched, there's even more bonus content. And this round, Lo and I are actually adding a 5th module. So there's an entirely extra module here for you to enjoy. So if you're not yet a quantum creator, I highly recommend it. Check out the link down below. Sending you so much love, and may you have a quantum day. Thank you for listening to Note to Self. If you enjoyed this episode, please help me out by rating and reviewing this show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If my energy is resonating with you and you feel the call to work with me, there are an abundance of ways to do so. I offer one-to-one life coaching programs, mastermind containers, and DIY courses, all of which are available through my website, zoearielpoulsen.com. Until next time, take note of all the abundance that surrounds you as you make the most of this game called life.